So thank you for your many contacts, folks. Right, let's get our teeth into this. It was a long thread by Professor Siobhan O'Neill yesterday on social media that flagged our attention to this with regard to a report highlighting the disparity in grants available for school uniforms to families on these islands. Right, get a listen. In the Republic, €275 for post-primary uniforms, €150 for primary school uniforms. Wales, 200 for post-primary, 125 for primary. Here, £35.75 for primary, 78 for post-primary. There are many issues here, and Professor O'Neill pointed many of them out. Let's explore it with Naomi McBurney from PEG, or the Parent Engagement Group. Naomi, lovely to have you on air today, and good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mark.
I know you speak as a community volunteer, you speak as a mum. I don't know why we've not noticed this before, why politicians haven't been banging it off the lampposts. Your thoughts?
Hi, Mark. Yes, thanks for having me on.
You're very welcome.
It's great to chat to you about this. So I think school uniforms and their increasing cost has actually been an issue for a number of years. Northern Ireland Children's Commissioner has carried out a piece of research in 2017. So, yeah, I think it has definitely been on the radar, but we at Parent Engagement Group just were determined that it wasn't going to be an August issue. So we, myself and Lindsay Robinson, decided that we were going to take this on as an issue that needed addressed past the August shopping spree that parents unfortunately have to do, and the growing concerns about the increasing costs that parents are facing, and indeed children as well.
And Naomi, specifically, what are your members telling you?
So we represent a voice of parents as well as children and young people, and they're telling us 94% told us in our research in August that they were concerned or very concerned about the cost of school uniforms.
Did you say 94?
94% of parents, yeah, that is equivalent to 1,328 parents that told us that. And that it's not only the cost, that the financial pressure that's being placed on parents is actually impacting their health and well-being. 75% of those that said that the financial pressure, 75% said that was impacting their health and well-being.
But Naomi, forgive me, I'm not a parent. I look at school uniforms and go, well, look, you're a parent. You have kids. You have to put clothes on their back regardless. And a wee sweater for the school, or a wee skirt, or a wee pair of trousers doesn't cost that much in the bigger picture. Correct me.
Absolutely, you would think that, but unfortunately, with the rising number of brands being introduced into PE kits in particular, but also into the school uniform itself, we're seeing that the costs are on average are approximately £378 for post-primary, and approximately 173 for primary.
173 for primary.
That's right.
And
yes.
parents get £35.75 here for that.
That's correct. And then if you look at the post-primary sector, it jumps considerably. You're talking around 378 with a grant of either, if they're under 15, it's £73, and if they're over 15, it's £78.
And there are criteria, of course, for qualification. I mean, that disparity, so primary school kids here can get help of 35 quid. A Welsh kid, same age, same circumstances, 200 quid. That's not right. It couldn't be right.
I would completely agree with you, Mark. And part of our research is to highlight these areas where we can improve. We've completed a discussion paper in which we want to discuss that with the Minister, among a wider number of issues as well, that we believe would go to addressing this for all families across Northern Ireland.
And especially somewhere like Derry, where literally, I crossed the border this morning 100 yards from one primary school to get a few pound of diesel, Naomi. But, so a Donegal kid in the same circumstances, a kid literally in the next field across, gets €275 for post-primary, €150 for primary.
Absolutely, it's a considerable difference, and it definitely the Minister has made a commitment to revise that. Right. However, we would urge
our Minister, the Minister here,
our Education Minister has made a commitment to her department to look at that. However, we want children and young people and parents to be involved in that review.
Well,
we feel that it's
I was going to say, we've asked them. We knew you were going to be speaking to you, Naomi, so we've spoken to the Education Authority. We wanted figures on the number of grants issued here and whether they will be changing the funding, to put it mildly. They've yet to get back to the programme. What would you like from them?
Well, we have written an extensive discussion paper, and within that we have advised the Minister, our recommendation would be that an independent ministerial advisory group is established to look at school uniforms within Northern Ireland. And one of the key areas that we would like addressed would be similar to what is in Wales currently and what is being introduced in England, would be looking at a cap whereby the schools cannot go above a certain amount of certain cap, which would be agreed in partnership, we believe, should be with parents of children and young people as well.
Amazing.
But we also want to look at areas around, is the uniform fit for purpose at, in modern day the school environment, and we've reached out to young people to find out their views, which we'll be revealing on Monday. We had hoped to meet the Minister on Tuesday to present our paper and reveal our survey, but unfortunately she has since cancelled that meeting this afternoon. And we have requested for that to be rescheduled because we believe that it's incredibly important that the parents that we represent, the children and the young people, get an opportunity to meet with the Minister. We've worked with the Secondary Students' Union of Northern Ireland, who have contributed to the survey, and we want them to be able to sit with the Minister and talk about the impact that uniforms, both the cost and the current arrangements, are having on their school environment.
Incredible. Professor O'Neill, just want to have you, Naomi, talks about the financial impact of expensive items is obvious, but look at the shocking differences in the prices. Look, it caused me to think about my own, educational early years. Lurgan College, I got to college, working sort of housing estate boy, all the rest. But there were two badges for Lurgan College. There was this handmade one that was posted in from dear knows where, but 40 quid or something like that, or you could get a wee cheapie for £12, and we all had wee cheapies, right? But the difference was implicit. Didn't really see it at the time, but you know what I mean? The rich kids got the posh badges, and I bet you that goes through football boots, hockey sticks, all the rest.
Yeah, absolutely, and we are very keen to ensure that the disparity, within income groups it's not something that should be a barrier to education. And if we look back to the original intention of uniform, it was always about ensuring equality within economic groups within going to attending school. And I think we need to get back to that. We need to look at what is affordable, what is acceptable across, and not to attach stigma and shame to school uniforms, and to present the barrier to young people's education. I don't
want to embarrass you, your Waynes or your schools, but is it a question you've had to? I imagine you've had to deal with this, hence the group you formed.
Well, my children are in primary school, and what we're actually seeing, Mark, is that whenever pupils transition from P7 into Year 8.
Yeah.
For many, many parents, that transition is something that they don't expect. That huge jump, as I've said there, the jump is up to £378.
That's a biggie. It is a biggie. You have to have this gym kit. If you're going to play rugby or you're going to play football, you have to do this. You have to have these socks, shorts, pinafores, all the rest.
Yep, so that is something that's massively impacting parents, and they're not prepared for it because there is quite a huge disparity between primary and post-primary.
Gotcha.
Albeit there are branded PE kits creeping into primary, which we feel that urgently needs to be addressed, and which is why we're calling for the independent ministerial advisory group, because that will look at all of those areas, including the grant, including the threshold for the grant and the arrangements in place. We feel that they need to be revised along with the introduction of a cap.
Okay, listen, well, look, no, we just want to final thoughts then. Professor O'Neill noted on social media many uniforms also reinforce gender stereotypes. I was asking a couple of parents today, most primaries allow kids to wear whatever. The wee girls don't have to wear pinafores, they can wear trousers. Not all the time, though. Anyway, she says it can create distress for transgender, gender non-conforming pupils. Uniforms can have an important role in fostering equality, you said, in terms of being free to be active, to learn and to flourish. We must make this a reality. The psychology of this, we'll touch base with you next week with your figures as you're about to present them. But finally today, the psychology of this on the student, on the pupil.
Yeah, I think this is something that we need to consider in our ask to the Minister of reviewing the current arrangements for school uniforms. It's something that's in our paper, something that we believe that needs to be given consideration. We don't believe that cost, just looking at the cost, is enough. We have heard from young people, and we will be sharing their views on this. And as you said, not all schools, similar girls are prohibited from wearing trousers, and not all schools are as open and free and flexible to enabling that. And this is something that we're seeing coming through from the young people that we talk to. Restrictive skirts, for example, one type of skirt is just not really acceptable.
Well, exactly. If you want to climb a tree, it's different if you're wearing a pair of shorts or a skirt or a pair of trousers. This is just the truth.
We need to encourage our young people to be out and to be active.
All of them,
feel comfortable in their uniform and their PE kits, and that's something that we aim to address with our discussion paper as well, Mark.
On their own skin and their own selves. Anyway, very interesting stuff. We will speak to you again. Thank you so much for that. The thoughts of Naomi McBurney from PEG, the Parent Engagement Group, voluntary outfit here in Northern Ireland. So that's interesting, isn't it?